What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. I've had a busy weekend, and we're going to talk about it. I've got this last-ditch effort to try and make the Skype work here. Let me see if I can get it going if we're going to do Collins at the end, but let's pause for a second for me. It's a good thing we're doing this sweet, sweet music coming in. Nope. It doesn't seem like it's going to work. All right, well, we'll have to do the after chat questions and answer period. So, yeah, without further ado, let's kick her on over. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. Thanks for joining me on Saturday. I appreciate it. I have been working my tuchus off. I've been building an antenna, which a lot of you knew, and I technically finished it about an hour before starting the stream today. Whew. I'm a tired boy. You can probably tell I am tired. Oh man. Midwest MT Beer just passed technician exam today. Congratulations. That's awesome. So, yeah. So what I was going to say is for the Discord after chat, which happens after we end up the live stream here, we go over to Discord and I live stream to Twitch. And so if you have any questions that come up with regards to field day or whatever, post in the comments. I'll be monitoring the comments. The admins are going to monitor it, and they pipe the questions over to me so I can follow along that way. I'll try and answer them through your text, through my voice. I'll answer your questions, hopefully. But at the same time, if you want to join me over on the Discord after chat, that's probably the easiest way. And the easiest way to find it is the link is in the description. So make sure to check that out. I'm going to pop out the chat here so I make sure I'm getting it live. It looks like it's working, but I don't see the chat room yet. I hope everybody's had a good weekend. I am drinking. I've gone straight to beer. And I'm drinking out of my Ham Radio Crash Course pint glass, which I've got news on that, and I wanna talk to you all about. Good stuff. Hey, Filomeno boy, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate the support. So with regards to the merch, we'll just jump right into some of that fun stuff. So we've got it. Oh, we had it. Where did it go? There it is. Hamtactical.com. My wife put a website together, and now we have merch. Hamtactical.com. So if you're interested in an extra general or technician shirt, or you want a HRC logo, or some of the mugs, or a pint glass, or whatever, there it is. So hamtactical.com, the easy way to find that out. So what antenna was I putting up? Well, I can show you. Bladow. There it is. It's not as high up as it needs to go. It needs to probably go up another foot or two. I'm just not strong enough to push the whole thing up on my own and then bolt it together. So it's attached tightly on the mast right above the thrust bearing and connected to the rotor. And let's give her a turn. Give a turn for us. Check it out. Here we go. We're doing the rotator right now. Oh, good. Well, right with Harry Bolognese. Thank you for the properly timed super chat. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and slide that alert down. That was funny. All right, let's go right here. Anyway, continuing. Rotate. Continuing the rotation. Oh, yeah, there's that dipole loop in the middle. It is a 3-element step IR. Wow. It took me about a week as the antenna knocks the camera off the roof. Wouldn't that be funny? It barely clears the VHF, UHF antenna that's on the other side. I had some fun playing around with that whole thing to make that work. Yeah, it's not a small boy. My wife hasn't gone outside to see it yet, so it's... Hey, I don't know what to expect. Yeah, the neighbors must hate it when they see me go to the pull the ladder out, and they're like, "Oh God, he's getting on the roof again." Not. Oh, somebody asked how much. Not not cheap. Let me pull the website up. They're not giving these things away. They're great. I mean, so far I've been using it for 30 minutes or so. So let me pull up the website really quick. Sam Hosfeld, 762. Very good. Hey, Josh, past general this morning. Thanks for the awesome content. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. All right, let me flip her on over here. So we've got horizontal antennas. It's the 3-element beam with the 3040 loop adapter. So there you go. Is my wife watching? Uh-oh. Oh, I got to get off this website. She's watching. Hey, how's it going, everybody? She's in the chat. No, she's in the chat. Yeah, and she's responding to comments. Yeah, okay. Well, that was fun. That was a good time. The stream may end quickly. You never know what's going to happen. Here's the controller box. I have that connected. So basically, if you look at this as front to back, this is the back where the gain is. There's no gain set to the back right now. All the gains set to the forward. And I don't have it connected to the 7300 yet, but I will have it connected eventually, probably tomorrow. And that will allow me to, as I change frequencies on the 7300, the Step IR will automatically move the elements out or in, depending on what frequency I'm on. But basically, we're on 20, which you can see right here. And if I just go in here and rotate, so if I give it a couple rotates, see how the little 20 will flash? That's as it's actually going in and adjusting the element as it goes, right? Back and forth. So really simple stuff. I have not removed my tuner yet, but I did put it into bypass, and it's like a solid, 1-to-1, 1-to-2 SWR, pretty much as I've been playing around with it, which is pretty nice. The antenna is a heist, my wife says. Nick Smith, busted. Paint it blue. I did talk to the people at Step IR about painting it, and they gave me some strong recommendations on, if I choose to paint it, what to paint it, or what paint to use to help it out. JD Williamson, PD1JDW. Hey, thanks for the support, man. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, the beer is nice today. I've been really busting my butt. So, thank you for watching while I walk through some of this stuff here. So, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? I got a couple of news items. Links are in the description for all of this, by the way. I was on the Switch podcast. The Switch is what it's called. And the link is in the description. It's really cool. It's a group of people in New York that were meeting. They had a space, and they'd meet every day. They'd have a meetup, and they'd talk about all kinds of things. They'd have guests and all this stuff. But since COVID-19 happened, they moved everything online to Zoom, and they've been having people join them and recording it as a podcast. So they had me on last week, or no, was it this week? It was this week. And then next week they're going to have the Mike from Fieldcraft Survival on, and he'll be doing a podcast with them. So super, super cool. So check that out. I really had fun talking with them. It's always the hardest thing for me, oddly enough. I'll tell you kind of an inside baseball thing for kind of just doing this whole talking to people thing. I put the thing back up. Pfft, I'm just showing off now. Let me go back to the merch. The thing for me is explaining ham radio to people. If they have a question, a specific question, it makes it easier for me to give them a lot of information on it, because we're kind of dialed in to what they need. When someone says hey, what is ham radio? And you're like, whoa, okay. That's the 5-minute elevator speech of ham radio. Is extremely difficult to do. And to be able to talk for an hour and trying to keep it at that high level is difficult to do when you're, just trying to help people out and, give them the best foot forward or give them the best answer possible. So that's always a hard thing for me, is when I'm just like, hey, tell me what ham radio is. It's like, well, I can tell you, but there's so many deeper parts to it. So I usually try and go real broad and then start to dive in as I go along, because it becomes too difficult. Like, there's just too many things to hit. Oh man. All right, so that's been my week, and why am I like busting my butt to get this all done? Well, it's because Field Day is coming up. Field Day is coming up, and that's extremely important for me to participate in Field Day. I love Field Day, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. W8WOT is hosting another test session on June 27th. So if you're watching this, or you've been watching me for a while, you've been doing your practice tests online, and you're ready to take that license, the link is in the description for his particular session. So if you're interested in that, let me know, or let him know through the website, and I will try and keep everybody updated the best I can on when new sessions are coming out. But as always, if you can't get into Chris's session, W8WOT, then just use, hamstudy.org/sessions. That's where you want to go. Oh, there you go. Hey, Zach's got it. He's got remotehamtest.com, W8WOT. Oh, did I use the wrong link? Did I use the wrong link in the description? Or do we just have novelty links? Somebody said they heard music on my stream via my headphones. Do I have some kind of audio running? I hope I don't. Anyway. Very good, very good. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about Field Day, and I'll give you my 30,000-foot level on what Field Day is. And there's actually a flyer on here, which I could just pull that up while I'm going along, because, why overcomplicate it if they've got the whole thing? But Field Day is basically, a weekend, the fourth weekend in June, traditionally, where hams go outdoors and try to work amateur radio. And they try to, it's basically a contest, although they will say, it's not really a contest. It's more about being put together with your radio setup, being able to have your radio station ready to go and be able to get it up on the air really quickly. That's kind of why Field Day exists, right? If you consider, at the end of the day, ham radio is still both considered a service and a hobby, right? We're hobbying most of the time, but as a service, what does that look like, right? As a service, it means probably having to get out of the comfort of your home, go to an area that, may be hurting due to a disaster or whatever, and being able to operate effectively. And Field Day is kind of like a mock trial at that. It's a mock scenario. It's a mock disaster that you deploy your radios out and you try and make contacts. What would that look like in an emergency? You'd be making contacts with specific people and transmitting information back and forth about, the people that are injured there, things they need, supplies they don't have, what's broken, what needs fixing. You get the idea. So Field Day in a nutshell is kind of just a fun weekend that has a multiple importance on why people should be interested in it. Hams, obviously, but other people too often find out about ham radio via Field Day. They have what's called a Get on the Air station. A lot of clubs will do this. They'll set up a VHF, UHF radio or something and have it kind of manned by somebody who knows what they're doing, and they'll walk people through different contacts. And, again, why? Because it's outreach, because it's a way to get people introduced to radio in the best foot forward and say, hey, this is exactly what radio is all about. Check this out. So that's kind of how that works. Now, Field Day traditionally, right? Traditionally, because I'm going to start at the traditional level, and then I'm going to get into what's different with COVID-19, because there are a lot of things that are different, and we need to talk about that. So generally, with Field Day, you're operating on non-mains power. You're trying not to run the power that's off the grid. You want some kind of battery system, a generator, a solar panel system. Solar and batteries usually go hand in hand. And, you know, people have gotten really creative. They've used hydropower before. They set up a little turbine, and they'll use that to run power to their radio, which is pretty awesome, right? Facebook user says, took general test today remotely. Thanks W8Watt for making it possible. No sessions locally appreciated. And thank you, Josh. I found all that valuable info through your videos. Well, congratulations, Facebook user. I don't know why it's not linking up Facebook correctly, but I am seeing them in the chat, so I just wanted to make that note. So again, it's about running your station on, you know, non-mains power, whatever it is really, as long as you can run your radio. Now, why that's important is Field Day uses a lot of classifications of your radio station, how it's set up. There are classifications like you'd normally expect for QRP, you know, medium watt or 100 watt. Usually it's 150 watt. And then there's like high power. You already expect that with contests, right? You kind of already expect there to be different categories for that. But they go a step further and they bring in things like power. How are you powering your station? Are you using emergency power? Are you using, you know, a non-mains based power system? And you generally get bonus points if you are powering your station by not a mains power source for Field Day. Now, also, it's encouraged that Field Day generally runs with a club, with your club, whomever. And so they use like multi-call, no, it's one call, it's one club call, but many people are operating that club call. And I'll explain it as we go a little bit further into the exchange, but you're starting to get the idea. This is a big event to bring people out to work together, to assemble antennas, to assemble operating stations, and power them all in one location. Now, something to appreciate is traditionally, you have a fairly small space, a couple 100 feet, that you can all be within during Field Day. You all need to co-locate in this location. So if you're thinking about running all those antennas, even if they're on different bands of HF, VHF, UHF, whatever, they're still going to have interference working with each other. So the engineering solutions that people come up with and the ingenuity that they have to bring to the table to get their operator station going on those different bands, right? Because if you're working just 6 people, right? Just 6 people, all those HF bands, covered, that beer. You're going to need to, you know, have the appropriate antennas, have them working separate bands, don't have people on the same band. You know, it's a really interesting day, weekend, the whole deal for everything leading up to it, right? Because nobody just wakes up and goes like, hey, I'm going to go do Field Day today. I mean, they do. Some people do. But a lot of people, it really starts months in advance as they prepare. I know the club that the club that I've worked with before, I've never been able to do a full camp out with them, W6TRW. They go out to the coast and they set up in this park, and it's a weekend event, and they have a lot of fun. Of course, there's a lot of food that goes into this too, right? They're going to eat a lot of food. You're going to see a whole bunch of food when we get back to normal, but that's not why we're here today. Why we're here today is I want to talk about the major things that are going to affect Field Day this year, because I think that is there are good things for some people, and there are bad things for a lot of people too. Okay, so if you want to know any of this stuff, right, there's an FAQ on the ARRL's website that walks through a lot of stuff, like several club members are going to operate independently and wish to attribute their scores to the aggregate club score. Well, remember what I said about clubs, right? A lot of club members will get together, one location, they'll work one club call, and then they'll try and get as many contacts as possible, get as many bonus points as possible, because that was easy. We'd all go to the same park, and we'd stay there for 24 hours. In the time of human malware virus, we can't do that, right? We got to stay at home. So the ARRL has adopted some rule waivers. It's specifically for 2020, unless things get worse on from here and don't get better. But next year, hopefully everything's going to go back to normal. But for this year, they have a special set of waivers that's basically what we're going to be talking about today. Avaz at etra. Happy Saturday, all. Happy Beer Day, Josh. DEB7ZUT. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. Aha. Very good. Okay. So the big thing here is that kind of no matter what you're doing this year, you're going to use your own call sign. You're going to use your own call sign. You're going to use your own logging software for that call sign. And that's kind of what you're going to do, kind of regardless of what class you run. And we're going to get to classes, don't worry. But just keep in mind, you're generally going to be using your own call sign. And that's what they say here. Participants should use their own call sign except Class C, which is a mobile entry. All transmitters, receivers, and antennas must be located within a 1,000-foot diameter circle and may operate using a single call sign. So that's your exception. This prohibits the use of single call sign from more than one location under the 2020 waiver. Those operating from home, including backyard operations, must use their own station call sign. Multiple home stations operating with a club call are modified club call signs such as W1AW-1, W1AW-2, 3, etc. are not allowed. So just use your standard call sign for most of this stuff. Fubo Labs, thanks for all you do. Or Libs, thank you, buddy. Chaz R. Josh, I got my license just after Winter Field Day. No call sign at that point. Then the human malware virus hit and no club meetings. I'm a bit clueless when it comes to contesting. Any advice? Well, there's a ton of good videos on YouTube on contesting. I've done one... I've done multiple videos participating in contests. Those can be tough if you don't know how a contest works. I did a video on contesting, though, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure I have more than one. Anyway. Devoice... Oh, Lee Harrell. Oh, man. Throws out a hot banger, man. Lee Harrell says sends $5.56. Divorce lawyer fund. Happy Father's Day. Cheers, buddy. God, that's brutal. Brutal. How does... Okay, so this gets a little bit deeper. So you go to field day again, right? Again, starts next Saturday, basically. When does it start? It starts like 10 a.m. my time. Anyway, we'll get there too, don't worry. But you basically set up on a Friday, and then you start Saturday morning, and you run all the way into the next day. It's a 24-hour event at that point. I think it's 24 hours. Anyway. So when you're at home and you're not doing mobile, which is the only exception, you're going to use your own call sign. And you're going to try and make as many QSOs as possible. CQ Field Day, your call sign, etc. For a lot of people that are starting out, I'll just throw this in there. If this is your first time that you're going to be operating on Field Day, go ahead and listen for a little while. Listen to some of the bigger stations. Listen to a couple of back and forths, like what the contest exchange is. It's a lot different sometimes when you hear or when you read what is in the contest exchange than what's you're supposed to actually do on the air. I know it's all the same information, but at the same time, it's a lot easier if you just hear it from my point of view. Matt Bendixson, thank you, Mr. Hashnasi, the ham radio wizard. I wish I was a ham radio wizard, but there's no magic in ham radio. This is all science. It's all backed by science. So anything you think is special or amazing, it's backed by something you can do. So don't think it's magic. You can figure it out. Jeremy Williams, thanks for another great stream. Happy Father's Day. Thank you very much. I appreciate the Father's Day well wishes. What am I going to do? I'm going to sleep in tomorrow for Father's Day, and then I'm going to get back on the roof because I need to put up the 6-meter extended element on that antenna. All right, so we can come back to the FAQ, but really the big thing is I want to bring up this is the PDF file. If you search Field Day 2020 PDF or rules, 2020 rules, you'll get this PDF file. And this is good to have on hand. I know that when you normally have a field day in person, I print this out and I keep a copy on me in my bag, and usually there's multiple copies floating around on this. But it's really important to know these because they're fairly well written and they cover things pretty well. So the time period for field day is June 27th and 28th. Field day is always the fourth the fourth full weekend, and it begins at 1800 UTC Saturday and ends at 2059 UTC Sunday. Okay, so you get the idea, right? Okay, so this is the little errata stuff we have. Stations do not begin unless Saturday may operate. Okay, that's fine. Entry categories. Where is it? Did they? I'm going to find it right now as we get in. Where did it change? I just saw this, but then I guess I missed it. Station, no Class A or B stations may begin setting up earlier than 00 Friday. Yeah, entry categories. Where's Class D? I need to find that Class D. Did they get rid of it? Do I have to go back to the blog? I thought they said it was on the PDF. I thought I saw it on the PDF. Anyway, let's talk about what's traditionally happened. So here's your general classes. Class A, which is running off of battery, and it's a club call, right? Or it's a class club running. So anytime you hear an A, that's a club. A B is a 1 or 2 person portable. So field day station that is set up operated by no more than 2 persons. Other provisions are the same as Class A, except it is not eligible for GOTA or VHF station. Class B, battery, is 1 or 2 people portable. Class C is mobile, which we just talked about is you can run out mobile and you have 1,000 feet around where you can kind of be in the same location. Now, Class D, this is where we need to make some understanding of what traditionally happens. Class D is a home station, right? Stations operating from a permanent or licensed station locations using commercial power. Class D stations may only count contacts made with A, B, C, E, and F field day stations. So traditionally, when we don't have human malware virus, as a Class D station, someone that's just working from home, me right now, I'm just sitting in front of my radio. If this was field day and I was talking and it was any other year but 2020, I would not be able to claim any other Class D station I worked. However, for field day 2020, the ARRL has said, no, due to COVID-19, you can go ahead and work other Class D stations and count them in your logs. So that helps out a lot because obviously we can't go meet up. We can't go meet up and run like a club would normally do, which, by the way, I'm really going to miss because going to different club events, I've been to, I would go to multiples in the same day and just hang out. And I would also run at home, but I would run on emergency power, and that's the next one we're going to talk about. Or where is it? Emergency power. Yeah, Class E. So I would normally, at home, I would normally run Class E. So it's the same as Class D, but using emergency power for transmitters and receivers. Class E may work all field day stations. The difference with my Class E was I would actually set up in the backyard. I didn't want to call it portable, so I would call it home, but I was running off of emergency power, so not off the mains power, which is what I do occasionally when I can. All right. And then the Class F is Emergency Operations Center, so an EOC can operate as Class F. So that's pretty much the straightforward classes of where you might want to find yourself. This year, I feel like there's going to be a whole lot of Class D stations, and I will be running as a Class D station myself. I will be streaming as much as I can on field day because, why not? And it's a good time. I did it 2 years ago. 2 years ago was my first time doing a live stream of field day, and I think we ran for 10 hours. I streamed for 10 hours. Last year we didn't because I was actually in Austin because I was going to go hang out with the guys from Modern Rogue. So, but this year, Class D, I'm not gonna go ahead and do emergency power. I figured it was enough just getting the step IR on the roof, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. By the way, we'll be playing with the step IR in the after chat. I'll be trying to do some live QSOs with people. All right, so I want to throw this out there as just an exchange point. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any of the high points. I suggest everybody go download this and read it. The rules. Make sure you just take a look at it. It's fairly straightforward. A lot of these bonus points are not going to be, we're not going to be able to do. Like, I guess you could still do the media publicity, which is 100 points. And that basically is you reach out to your local media and you give them a press release and all that fun stuff. Public information table is going to be a little difficult. Or I guess you could put a table out in the front of your house with some brochures on it about amateur radio and field day. May not work that great, though. You can get something, you can send a message to the section manager, which is still a good thing. And these are all like bonus points that get added to your score. When you traditionally would do these with a club, you would assign somebody, like you are our PR person. You're going to contact the media, you're going to contact our section manager, you're going to do all that stuff so that we get those extra points. You likely also, in some cases, you say, okay, Bob, you are a satellite guy. Bob K6UDA walks out of his house with an antenna and points it at the sky, and satellites talk to him. First shot out of the door, he's a satellite whisperer. So you say, Bob, you're a satellite guy. You need to work contacts from the satellite, so we get those extra points from that. And then there's also message handling, which I think is still going to happen this year. I think, aside from the changes to the way club calls are going to be handled, it's likely all the same, except you really can't have people like, you can't have a lot of foot traffic, which is a bummer, but, you know, it's a thing. Okay, so what am I going to show you now? I want to walk through the Exchange really quickly, so let's flip her over here. I am using... So I'll be using the N3FJP Field Day Contest Logger. Now, I know some people don't like this tool, and that's fine. Use whatever you want. But I find that N3FJP is very easy to show people and for them to understand exactly what they're doing with this. It's very simple, and it's huge. I mean, you can see behind me. It's, like, massive. So... Oh, Evan Hartman with the update. Yeah, with the good reminder. You only need to make 5 QSOs on Solar to get the extra 100 points, by the way. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I think the YouTubers, we're thinking about, we're doing something. We're planning something. I think it might just be a lot of people streaming. And we will try to communicate with each other as much as possible. You will find, though, that, you know, contests can be a little crazy. So... Let me go ahead and throw over. I wanted to show you what this does. Oh, operator, that's it. Nope, that's not it. I mean, that was it, but I didn't want it to do that. Nope, that's not it. I just opened this, and so it goes through this whole setup thing, and I didn't want to set it up because I wanted to show you what it asks. I think it's right here. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so the big thing here is I'm going to run Class D, as I already mentioned, and your ARRL section. That's the next thing we need to cover, because that's a part of the Exchange. So let's throw it back over here really quick. Let's get you your ARRL section. All right. Okay, so California, for instance, is really big. Los Angeles is LAX. So this is the LAX section. So if you were in Ohio, like Evan and Dom, you just have one, and that's your section. It's Ohio. So that is what you would give if you were in that section. And what happens is, so I'm LAX. We close this. So 6 calls, right? So 6. Oop, you're not seeing that. It would help if you saw that. It would help if you saw that. There you go. So 6 calls is California. And we've got LAX, Orange, San Joaquin Valley. You get the idea. Santa Barbara. Anyway. Where's Ohio? I always forget where this is at. I can't see it. Anyway, the point of this whole thing, though, this logger, is that it will show you as you start making calls. It'll turn these green. It's a really nice kind of target to like go, hey, I wanna get all these green. I want to get all these green because I want to get all those points. And Canada is in on this too. And that's no joke when you start going after all the Canadian provinces. So when you take a call or when you try and reply to somebody, and like I said, if you're doing this for the first time, I generally recommend that you first go ahead and reply to somebody who's kind of been established for a little while. And generally aim for somebody that's got a pretty good signal to you. If they're like 10 over, S9, might be worth trying to make a call to them. Particularly if you're like on a portable antenna or you're not a full 100 watts, could be good to do that way. So what you're going to do is you're going to wait for them to say CQ field day. Might be a recording. You're going to hear a lot of recordings, by the way. Might be a recording. You're going to hear CQ field day and then their call sign. And you're just going to key back, key up, and give your call sign. And that's if you're running for single sideband, which I'm assuming most people will be doing that. And then at that point, you're going to, hopefully they'll hear you, they'll come back, and they'll say, acknowledge. Again, they'll say call sign, class, which is going to be an A call, or, it could be D. I'll be running D, and then their ARRL section. And so you can just start typing through here, and when you hit enter to log it, boom, you'll get it. And then you basically reply to them and say, QSL or acknowledge, copy. You don't have to say copy, though. If Connor was here, he'd be screaming at the screen. You just key up again. You say QSL, give your call sign. You are a whatever D station, and then say your ARRL section, and it'll start to fill out as you go, as you get more contacts. So that's kind of how it works. That's the easiest way to explain it. And to be honest, I like to just throw myself into the mix and just go for it. I don't... For a lot of contests, I don't really look them up beforehand. I hear about them, or I'll check the website, and then I'll just dive in and I'll kind of pull up the rules as I'm listening on the radio, because they'll give you the exchange just by listening, and you get the idea of it pretty quickly. All right, so there is some errata to walk through. Again, I want to make sure that we get all the human malware virus stuff out of the way, because that is... Okay. Here's the big rule waiver that I need to hit. For Field Day 2020 only, Class D stations may work all other Field Day stations, including other Class D stations, for points. So if you've ever, were on the fence about doing Field Day, and you got a radio at home, and it's connected to an antenna, just go on the air. Do it. Just make 5 contacts. Challenge yourself. Make 10 contacts. That'd be fun. And then hopefully you keep going with it, and you just you come back up for air, you're hungry, and you got 100 contacts. That would be awesome. Listen 1 or 2. Zach's got a recommendation. Listen to 1 or 2 QSOs before calling back. Some people want your section when you call out their CQ, and some people just want to call. Yeah, so I've always found it's a call, and then they respond with their call, their section, and their classification, or their class, then their section, and then you respond with, QSL, KI6NAZ, Class D, LAX. And you don't say Class D, you say KI6NAS, D, LAX, or Delta. You get the idea. Justin McCauley asks, what is your logging software? I was using N3FJP, and I will be using N3FJP again when we... Don, don't use please copy. You don't need to say please copy. Yeah. Okay. So, Field Day rule, Class D stations, home stations, including stations from a permanent or license. Yeah, that's from the rule book. In addition to 2020 only, an aggregate club score will be published, which will be the sum of all individual entries indicated in a specific club, similar to aggregate scores total used in ARRL affiliated club competitions. So that's the deal, is you're going to run Class D, you're going to take all your contacts, and then your club is going to basically claim you, and then you can kind of pool all your points together, and that's, you know, how you can. This year would be really interesting to have a club, an HRCC club, because we could just say, hey, the entire internet use this club call, and we'll pool all your points together, and we'll see if we win. You know, give me 1,000 new hams and 100 contacts, and I probably won't win, but or we probably won't win, but it'd be fun to try. For example, oh, I love these examples. For example, if Podunk Hollow Radio Club, Becky, W1BXY, and Hiram, W1AW, both participate in 2020 Field Day, Hiram from his Class D home station and Becky from her Class C mobile station both can include the radio's club name when reporting their individual results. The published results listing will include individual scores for Hiram and Becky, plus a combined score for all entries identified as Podunk Hollow Radio Club. So yeah, I could just throw W6TRW into my log and be like, hey, here you go, have some points. Have some free points. That might be fun. Yeah, the K8MRD says, FYI, the please copy police will be out in force. That's true. You don't need to say please copy. In fact, if you're going for time, when you do things like that, that's like taking extra time, right, to complete the contact. You don't need to. If you're already talking to somebody, then just say KI6NAZ 1D LAX. And if they need to come back and say, like, you know, give me the section again, I get that a lot when I do field day, that I need to repeat my section because people aren't, well, a lot of people expect like California or CA or OH or LA, but then you hit them with the X, LAX, Lima Alpha X-ray, then they're going to be like, wait, what? So just a reminder on that one. So very good. Let's see. I think that was my big stuff. Oh, here we go. Social media, 100 points for promoting your field day activation to the general public via active, recognized, and utilized social media platform like Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to be operating Field Day 2020. Here is my announcement to social media that I will be operating. So I'll be quick to claim those 100 points. Oh, thank you, Zach, for posting the stream from 2 years ago. I will also be wearing my safety officer high-vis orange vest for the 100 points. Or I'll make Leia the safety officer. Or Ben. I'll just have him walk around with a fire extinguisher. I want to make sure I'm not missing any of the things that like are standoutish this year. So again, you should look at this PDF. You should go download it. FT8. Thank you. Yes. We do need to flip over for FT8. Yes, you can use FT8. Let me set that up really quick. I'm not in the mode right now. Okay, cool. Now I'm ready for you. All right. So FT8, when you're in FT8 settings, in fact, let me just do this all over again. I don't know why I was guising the whole thing from you. So WSJTX is on the upper right-hand corner. You're going to you're going to left-click, go to settings, go to the advanced tab. You're going to click special operating activity, ARRL field day. Come on, buddy. And the exchange is, for me, it is exchange number transmitters class. So I am 1D and LAX. So that is my field day exchange. 1D LAX. I'll be using one transmitter. Does field day use a serial number? I don't know. I don't think so. Leia, that's a good way to waste a fire extinguisher. She's probably right. Let me get the chat room back up here. So I'm obviously not going to transmit right now, but you'll know you're doing it right if you see field day right there. Now, I will point out, no number. Somebody said no number? Really? Oh, yeah, no serial number. I would like to point out that while you kind of can use 14.074, you don't need to with FT8. There's no requirement for that. So, for instance, if I roll my, I'm rolling the VFO right now, and I'm just going up to 104. That's not a big deal. You can still drop down into there, and as long as you are operating field day, then you're generally fine. So, is that what the full exchange is? I have to add that in. I got step IR in the mind right now, so it's gonna be KI6NAZ. No, that's not. There's too many characters. That's right. I knew I shouldn't have. I knew I shouldn't have entertained that because the text field is only this big. Yeah, field day exchange is pretty easy. I find that it's, I don't know. It's neither hard nor easy, I'll say. It's just kind of in the middle. Yeah. WSJTX will automatically put your call sign in. Yeah. So who do we got out here right now? Who do we got out here on the FT8? Nobody's auto precogging reply to me or calling me by my call sign on FT8. I always find that funny when people do that. Yes, on voice, correct. All right. Well, I'm wrapping up. I don't know. I'm not wrapping up early, but I'm quickly running out of things I want to talk about because I am out of it. I am so tired. Let me check the chat really quick and answer some questions. The Magician C said, people should get point bonuses for operating in an HOA without being detected. I love that idea. Call it operating behind, achievement unlocked, operating behind enemy lines. That's awesome. Want to talk, oh, KI6, want to talk Parachute Mobile? Yeah, sure. What, oh yeah, Carlos. Carlos is the guy who's been doing he's been doing parachute jumps. I think, where are you located, Carlos? In the chat. Go ahead and go ahead and fill us in where you're at in the chat. Cuz you're using VHF UHF. Indiana and Illinois. Yeah, in fact, he's got a video. Let me cue that up really quick. Let's see if we can watch it live. Pretty sure he posted on the Ham Radio Crash Course. Oop. Somebody's got some nasty RFI. There it is. Got it. We're gonna do a Josh Reacts video. I do have some questions on this, so you can answer me in the chat. Again, I don't have Skype working right now for some reason, so let's see if this plays. You're not hearing it, are you? There we go. Well, thanks, Coloros, for filling in the dead air that I'm walking myself into because I'm exhausted. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So Life at Terminal Velocity, check him out. Whoa. So he jumps out and he immediately pops the chute.
My plane, look at the pretty sunset.
Because he wants to get a long, you know, long operating time.
So we got out a little low, folks. Lower than normal. Normally we get out at 14,000.
I saw the first one he did, and I had some questions.
We had clouds on the way. You have to jump. You can't be through the clouds. So, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Don't be jumping through the clouds. Yeah, no joke.
Mask is open. Let's get this radio out. Let's get to playing.
It's coming up here, I think.
Come on.
The question.
Come on, radio.
How long is this video?
I really need to get a pouch of some kind to make this important.
Okay, there's my question. Is that paracord tethered to something on your body? So you're not just gonna yeet an FT3DR onto somebody? Also, the wind deflection on the signal stick, is it all right? Is it operating okay for you?
OLN parachute mobile, Kilo Delta Niner, Oscar Lima November.
Yeah.
Parachute mobile listening on 146.5. If you want to work me, I'm listening on 146.5. KD9PI, Scott, how you doing, man? Kilo Delta Niner, Oscar Lima November, over Rochelle, Illinois, at 7,300 feet.
Pretty good. That's pretty cool. What's your furthest APRS ping? People are calling me now.
Victor India, I have you 5-9, Kilo Delta 9, Oscar Lima November.
Wow.
Passing through 6,700 feet. And I forgot to hit the record button.
He is not tandem. Oh no, he did have the record button. Well, he had to get it off his video then. So that's one of the nice things about the FT3DR is you can record the audio, both sides of the communication
Victor
in the
India,
radio.
Victor
and
India, Kilo Delta 9, Oscar Lima November, have you 5-9 here over Rochelle, Illinois at 6,300 feet.
So that's 299 miles today on a jump. So while you were pinging APRS while you were parachuting down, and you got 299 miles, that's pretty awesome.
KD9, OLN mobile, parachute mobile, listening on 146.5.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit.
136 miles on feet.
Oh, wow, wait. How fast, dude?
136 miles on APRS.
136. There you go. I caught part of it. Okay, but he goes up to 299, which is freaking awesome.
A lot of wind noise.
A lot of wind noise. No joke. No way.
Outstanding.
I mean,
right over
you could run a mic into your mat. You said you have a faceplate on. You could probably integrate something to help out.
Thank you very much.
Kilo Delta Niner Oscar Lima November.
Folks,
It's pretty cool. It's super cool.
lots of fun making contacts with people from this high.
Yeah. So the question I have is, now that you've done it, you've done a couple of these VHF, UHF. Are you gonna think about doing HF? Because I know that there are people that do parachute HF radio. That would be kind of an interesting setup for that. Yeah, is the coolest thing I have seen done so far with an HT. Yeah. Okay, Carlos is thinking about getting HF. Yeah, sorry, I don't have the Skype working. Otherwise, I'd call you, but or figure something out. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to do with radio. Like, that's super cool because it's only gonna help you, particularly for VHF, UHF being that high. So, you know, why not? Absolutely, we should include Parachute Mobile. Oh, wait, let me go back. I want to make sure everybody goes to subscribe to Carlos. So Life at Terminal Velocity, you know, check him out on YouTube here. Only 61 subscribers, so share some love to Carlos. Oh, my FT8's blown up, so I'll reply. Where are you? Oh, you're Lakeside, California? Wow, if we can complete this QSO, I'm going to be shocked because this is all step IR ability. The hex beam cannot ever be heard locally. Let's see. Maybe not. I may have to put it in a 180 pattern. KM4ACK, please copy. Thanks for the great show. QSL. Hey, Jason, thank you, man. I appreciate it. By the way, Jason's got a new script coming out. Fully built, brand new tool for building your Raspberry Pi image. So make sure you follow KM4ACK on YouTube as well. You've probably already seen his videos. I'm gonna take off transmit for a second. So I'm gonna enter into 180 mode. Let me flip the screen around. Nope. There it is. Okay. So I think let's not break this thing, but right now it's in beam width is 66 degrees. I want to go to 180 mode. I'm not transmitting. I'm going to click this. Oh, that just flipped 180. No, I don't want that either. I want bidirectional. Hold on. There we go. So that makes it more omni, I guess. Let's see if we can get this this person now. Is it still flashing? I don't know what to expect. I don't know if this is going to turn from yellow to green. I don't want to dump a bunch of power into it if it's still moving. That's a sure way to blow this thing up. Okay, it's probably good. What is Zach saying to me? Let me go back. Now let's see if I can complete this contact. Here we go. Bidirectional pattern with N7YMW, although he's really quiet. He's now negative 23 to me. Try again, man. I don't know what this is going to do. Oh, is it Mark? Yeah, Mark. Okay, cool. Mark's in the chat. No, Zach, it's not the antenna physically rotating. It's the elements inside the sleeves lengthening and shortening. That's how they do the bidirectional pattern and stuff. It's all done with the tape that's hidden in the element housing. It's an omnidirectional antenna. The rotor spins at 1200 RPM while transmitting. It just goes so fast that it puts RF out everywhere. That's how they do it. That's the trick. That's how they get you. That's how they make a Yagi and omnidirectional. You just spin that thing as fast as possible. Well, I don't think it's going to work. You're not hearing me. I'm hearing you. I'm giving you back a negative 16, but seems like no copy. I don't even know. It says bidirectional, so this is interesting stuff. Hold on. Let's flip this back over here. So it says beam width is 71 degrees and that it is bidirectional. Like 71 degrees on both sides? I don't get it. I'll have to look into it. Again, I've only had this thing working for 1 hour until I started the stream, so. I am pointing west. I'm sorry, I'm pointing east. But it's in bidirectional mode, which means it should be both sides. So if let me see if I can do a flip-diddy-do here. What's the fastest way to... Can that work? Will that work? You said you're in Lake Forest, so here we go. I'm pointing down. All right, let's try that again. I got the 3-element Yagi with the dipole 40 and 30 meter attachment. Nope. But I do hear you better. Now you're a -14, so I don't know what's going on. Are you putting out power? Point it south and yeah, that's what I did. But the fact that you can't get me when I'm in omnidirectional is kind of or bidirectional. It opens up the beam width a lot, so you should be able to hear me. What antenna do you have? Oh, you said DX Commander? That might be why. Lakeside, not Lake Forest. Oh, there we go. You got a -18. So you said a DX Commander, right? Ah, okay. So the DX Commander, this is a horizontally polarized antenna, and you're on a vertical polarized. I don't know that I don't know how we're communicating to each other right now. I don't know if we're getting a bounce or a hop. You said you're in Lakeside, not Lake Forest, which is not far. Yeah, Nebraska hears me, so, you know, hey. That might have more to do it. Yeah, east side of San Diego. That's where I'm aiming right now. So right on. Oh no, he didn't complete the QSO. All right. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap it up and go to the after chat. If you had any questions or anything, obviously we weren't able to do the live Skype calls because I broke that thing. I think when I did the podcast, I needed to use the system to hop in there like that. But I will sort it out, and now I'm getting just R -18 from him. Complete the QSO. It might be ground wave, but he's he's about 100 miles from me, so I don't know. Don't know. Maybe. Anyway, so yeah, if you have questions about Field Day or really any amateur radio questions, if you want to ask them, the easiest way to do that is follow me right now to Discord, and we have a voice chat and a text chat. I will be streaming to Twitch simultaneously, and I try and demonstrate the questions when possible, when I can, on Twitch. So we'll definitely be playing around with the Step IR. I haven't turned the amp on yet, but I will be, and I want to see how far I can get out with this thing on single sideband. And 20's it's the time right now for, well, not for maybe people on the East Coast, but now is the time for 20, so we're going to try it. Okay, guys, I got one last thing to do. All my patrons, I appreciate the support. You guys are the thing that keeps this chat going in a lot of cases and really makes things possible for... Oh, by the way, I broke a camera lens. I whacked my camera on the tripod on my roof with one of the elements, and it fell back. It's not here. Where is it? Anyway, I gave it some good battle damage, and I broke the kit lens that came with it. So I've got to buy another lens for that damn camera because I whacked the camera when it was on my roof. I was trying to make the video. Huge shout out. Dennis is the first one on this list, and oh boy, does he need a big shout out. 86 DM Dennis. If it wasn't for Dennis, and of course Ethan, you're a superstar as well. Both you guys are just outrageous. They're the reason why we now have D-Star on the HRCC talk group. So if you are a D-Star person and you said, what's the deal, HRCC? It's a lot thanks to Dennis that we can now do it. So if you're curious about that, hrcc.link is where you'd go to find out more information about our D-Star setup. Yeah, Dennis, thank you, man. He has this outrageously detailed white paper that he basically built on integrating D-Star into different modes. So cross-communicating with the ASUS System Fusion and all kinds of stuff. So we got D-Star on board now. I need to get another D-Star. Well, I'm getting a D-Star radio. I hope. Yeah, I'm getting a D-Star radio. 70705, which I'm sure a lot of you are as well. Okay. All right, Andy Cowley, did I see Andy Cowley in the chat? I think I did. Hey, thanks, Andy. All right. Andy Kelly, Barbara Schrock, Bill McCarty, Bill Wiggers, Bob Adams, Brad Anyway, I did it again. Sorry. William Huster, Brad Nadeau, Brad Snyder, Corey Appleby, Daniel Sullivan, David Burns, David Dancero, David Gerald, Dennis Dunderdale, Zach Baker, Dennis Mickelson, Devin B. Hedge, Elias Brewer, Evan Hartman, FN 5.7 by 28, Franklin Lewis, Garrett Larson, Gerald Kelso, Charlie Hunter, Good Game, Ham Radio and Outdoors. Thank you, Good Game. Grimus, Herb Brasington, Hercules KC1LZR. Thank you, big backer Hercules is, and I really thank you. I really appreciate the support. He goes beyond the producer level, and I really do appreciate it. IC904, Jace Ravenfield, Jake Mall, Wyoming Ham, another big supporter, sends me stuff before he even gets it for me to put my grubby paws on it. So thank you for doing that. It allows me access to radios and things that I would normally buy. James Garner, James Tartamella, Jason Brown, Jason Jenkins, Jason Legg, Gerald Carpenter, Jeremy Williams, Jim B. Floyd Crawford, Ken White, John Flowers, John Gentzel, John Miller, John Molnar, Jonathan Williams, Jonathan York, Justin Jose, Wesley Magyar, Ken Hall, Kenny Miyamoto, Kevin Adams, Christopher Keener, Lee Harrell, Mark Chase, Mossy, Matt Y, Drageshevich, Michael Hunt, Michael Iafreto, Michael Simonas, Michael Brennick, Mike Heerly, Monvel Mascu, KN4JFK. Oh, JFK, I just noticed that. Mystic Storm, Nick Smith, Tom Wright, Philip Castile Jr., Randall Hinsley, Raymond Cracker, Richard Swartz, Rob K8BCR, Rob Zarges, Robert Roman Toledo, Bob Agostini, Ron Thorson, Scott KN6IHC, Sean Bales, Simon Deards, VK3FSPD, Stephen Carduz, Stephen Hunter, Stephen Blanford, Stephen Barker, The Tan Hat, and Jeff, the Pigeon Man, and Mark Wolf. Thank you, guys. Like I said, I'm going to Discord. Thanks again for watching. I am Josh, KI6NAZ. Try to do a live stream every Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're talking about ham radio. Next Saturday, though, be on the lookout because it's going to be field day, so it's going to be pretty intense on the bands. This whole week is going to be kind of a lot of people, a lot of activity because people are going to be checking out radios and doing that whole thing, having fun with it. So make sure you check out your radios too, particularly the ones you're going to be working on. And again, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. 73.